sir. Anybody here wanna see that man? If you wanna see that man, then put your hands together. Yeah. Yes, sir, Lord. Hey. Everybody get on. I don't know where you are. Everybody get on. Oh, wanna see from Galilee. Cause when his life is over, wanna see him from Galilee. Oh, we gon' shout our troubles. We gon' sing and shout. I wanna see. Anybody wanna see? Do you feel like me? Long from Galilee. Oh, Lord, help me. You wanna help me praise? You wanna help me praise? If it's been good to you, I wanna see it. Yes, sir, from Galilee. Because when
Good morning, Mr. Preacher. Good morning. Good morning.
From Galilee.
And Miss Diane Preacher. Good morning. Good morning.
When we get over there, we gon' shout our troubles. Yes, sir, we gon' sing and shout, Lord. I wanna see. Anybody wanna see? Do you wanna see that man from Galilee? I'm starting to feel good, y'all. I wanna see. I gotta see that man. Anybody wanna see? Wanna see that man? I don't know about you. I gotta see that man. I don't know about you, but I gotta see that man. I gotta see that man. Said he got power in his hand. You talking about a rockin' weary land. You talking about a chef in that time of storm. I gotta see that man. I gotta see that man. Do you wanna see? Do you feel like me? I gotta see that man. Yeah, I wanna see. Somebody call that name. I had to call that name.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Vicky Mason. Good morning, Sunday.
Late in the midnight hour, I had to call that name. Tears running down my face. No one to talk to, but I felt the man. Said I felt the man. Who would never leave? Who would never forsake me? Somebody call that man. You better call that name. You better call that name.
Good morning, Mr. Paul. Good morning. Good morning.
Jesus, somebody know that man. Somebody, Dr. Jesus.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, yeah, that man from Galilee. It's Monday. It's Monday. And it's a blessed thing. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice. And we're going to be glad in it. We're excited to have you here on this great Monday morning. Great Monday morning. Yes, Yep, yep. Great Monday morning. We're going to be talking to Miss Joanne from the Deep Church on this morning about the workshop that's going to take place starting July the 19th. That's going to take place. The interview is going to take place at 7:30 this morning. So we're going to have a guest on morning worship and word. So we're excited to have you. Yes, we are. We're excited to have you, and you. You are the warlord brothers. But I need you right now. I know all of us can do it. Yes, we need him right now.
I'm calling your name, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. I'm calling your name.
Good morning, Mama Georgia. Good morning. Good morning.
Well, sometimes
Good morning, Miss Wilhelmina Rice. Good morning.
And sometimes I get weak. That's why I'm calling your name, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. Yeah, I'm calling
You good, Miss Wilhelmina?
your name, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. Yeah, I'm calling
Miss Emma
your name, Lord, 'cause I need you, Lord, right now, Lord.
Had
Well,
a chance to see her yesterday morning.
I get tired and sometimes I get weak. That's why I'm calling your name. Yeah, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. I'm praying this prayer right now, 'cause I need you, Lord, right now, Lord. Yeah, I'm praying this prayer right now, 'cause I need you, Lord, right now. Well, sometimes my way get hard and sometimes my way get up. That's why I'm calling your name. Yeah, 'cause I need you right now. I'm singing this song right now, 'cause I need the Lord right now, Lord. Lord, I'm singing this song right now, 'cause I need you, Lord, right now, Lord. Oh,
Y'all let me hear you can hear me real good. Good morning, Bishop Hoover. Good morning. Good morning. Miss Willie Campbell, good morning. Good morning.
Put your hands together, Lord. Anybody love the Lord? Come on. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I get tired and sometimes I get weak. But I'm calling on your name, 'cause I need you. Right now, Lord. Come on, right now, Lord. That I need you to hold
I got you.
in the palm of your hand, Lord. Sometimes I'm weak, and sometimes I'm tired, Lord. And I need you to rock me in the cradle of your own, Lord.
Good morning, Miss Kelly Thea Campbell. Good morning.
Sometimes I'm
Miss Ron Nicholson. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Touch from you, Lord, would make it all right. I know you're able, Lord, and I know you will. Oh, sometimes I get tired, sometimes I get weak, yeah. But I'm calling on God, 'cause I need you. Oh, right now, come on. I need you. Touch my heart right now. Come on. I need you. Touch my mind, Lord, right now. Come on. I need you. Touch my life, Lord, right now. Come on. Yeah. Oh, my heart, Lord, right now. Come on. I need you. Touch me right now. Right now. Come on. Sometimes I get tired and sometimes I get weak. But I'm calling your name, 'cause I need you. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's the Warlord Brothers with I Need You Right Now. All of us can identify with. I said, good morning, Shorty Do. Y'all hear me say good morning, Shorty Do? got the Mama Georgia spirit on you. Good morning, morning, Mother Georgia spirit. God bless you, Miss Vaughn. It was good to see you and your husband at Pine Hill Missionary Baptist. Listen, by the way, let me say this. I want to thank Pine Hill and Pastor Duncan for your hospitality, and what an awesome day we had at Pine Hill. I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. So I appreciate Pastor Duncan, even though he don't know his shoe size. But I appreciate it. I appreciate him and the um, Pine Hill Missionary Baptist Church for all of your hospitality. It was good to see everybody. Miss Emma Lott. I used to pick at Miss Emma Lott like I pick at Shorty Doo. Yep. I go in the store in Monk's Corner. That's what it was called back then. I pick at her just like I pick at Shorty Doo. It was good to see her on yesterday. A lot of people that I saw. I saw Miss Fanny Mathis, who's on be on here all the time. I saw her, a chance to meet her, and a whole lot of good people at the Pine Hill Missionary Baptist Church. So I want to say thank you for the invite. We were excited to be there. All right, y'all, we're gonna move on. Miss Trina, yep, Miss Trina was the sound person, I think. I believe the person that was doing the streaming. All right. Good morning, Miss Trina Stedman. Good morning. All right. Happy Juneteenth to everybody. Everybody. That's right. It's a holiday, whether you believe it or not. It is a holiday. All right. So we're going to rejoice and we're going to be glad in this day because God is just an awesome, awesome God. Trina, y'all tell your pastor that he don't know his shoe size. All right. He declared he wear 10 and a half, but that's like a 12. All right. Good morning, Sister Cheryl and Brother Jonas. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Eileen Grissom. I saw her over at the Juneteenth celebration over on Bogus. Uh, I'm at Rotterdam going hurt, but I saw her over at the Juneteenth celebration, and listen, that was awesome too. Take my hats off to Brother Rodney and his lovely wife. Uh, you know, yeah, you got to help him out. Yeah, yeah, because he don't know his shoes. I'm telling you, he do not know. He do not know his shoes. He know he wear 12 and a half. I'm squeezing 10 and a half. Good morning, Miss Daisy Jones. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. We're excited. We're excited about the things that God is doing. I want to say this because I know you probably have heard it. 94.7 will no longer be a gospel station. I think they're turning it into a sports um, station. And so a lot of people are asking about what directions are we going in. But, I tell people God has a way of doing things, um, and God knows what's best for us. In October of 2022, the Lord just pushed me to go ahead and to step out on faith and start my own internet radio station. And I tell this to the glory of God that a lot of things that I needed, I really didn't have to get because God had touched the hearts of people. One person that I do want to give uh, um, you know, the credit to is Miss Charlene Johnson because a lot of the equipment that you probably hear me come through, I didn't have to really purchase. But she just, she was just a blessing. That's all I can tell you. She was just a blessing. And so, uh, a lot of people are asking, what are we doing? Well, even before we knew what was going to happen or what was coming down, God was already preparing platforms for us to be able to continue to do what we're doing. So even though that phase of life is about to close, it does not mean that other avenues of us doing what we do is going to cease because God has opened up doors. He's opened up avenues, and I'm to be able to do what I'm doing what I was doing on 94.7, I can do it even now. And so all of us, not just only Billy, but all of us are going to be good. All of us are going to be good. I do feel bad for the community because that station was a beacon of light for the community. There's nothing like good gospel music in 94.7. And I'm not just saying this because I'm part of it, but they did their best to be versatile. And a lot of times, because of the time that we're living in, quartet, traditional music, and all of that, sometimes you don't hear it as much as you used to. So I just want everybody to know, and I'm saying this because Miss Smith, who I love dearly, I'm a school teacher at Pine Hill, uh, asked me what 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 was I gonna do, what we are gonna do, and I was telling her that God had given me the internet radio station, and that we're gonna continue to do what we were doing. We just thank God for the platform of 94.7. Good morning, Ms. Deborah Paget, Minister LaShawn Ryan. We just thank God for the platform of 94.7. I was there for 18 years, 18 years, but I've been doing radio for 30 years. And so we're just grateful for the platform and what it allowed us to do. Uh, take my hats off to Reverend Smalls, take my hat off to Miss Donna, Don Wesby, uh, take my hat off to Ruben, all of those people that were instrumental in 94.7 being what it is and who it is. Even the folk in the past, Mary Harris, Oswald Washington, Miss Azor Gunner. Um, and I hate to start calling names, but there were people that really poured into 94.7. And so even though that we're going to miss it, and like I said, I really do feel bad for the people in the community because that place was a place of some people refuge. When they were going through situations, you can turn it on, you can hear music, you can hear the word, but what sometimes God does is He pushes us into a place where we can walk into an open door that creates, and I talked about this before, it creates opportunities, and not only for you, but for others. So guess what? Ministry will continue, music will continue. All of those that were a part of 94.7, they're still going to be doing something. You're still going to see them. They're going to be relevant. All of these things, it has not changed anything concerning their platforms and their ministries or what they're doing. So when you see one of them, support them, support what they're doing because I can say this that the ministries that were on 94.7, they really meant what they were doing. They did it from the heart. They did it from the heart. They really meant what they were doing. So, we just thank God for that opportunity. And again, we take our hats off to every general manager that was a part of that radio station, every announcer that was a part of that radio station. And July the 2nd is the day that it's going to transition from the gospel to the sports. And so, we just we're just we're just excited about what God is doing. And like I said, I thank you for being along the journey with us as we have started this. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. And I told my brother, I said, when you start something, you don't look for it to just blow up in the beginning. As we go, we grow. As we go, we grow. And so, just like I need you and you need me, we need each other. And so we're going to continue to spread this gospel music, and continue to build a platform so that people who have ministries can be heard, not just Billy, not just those that are affiliated with Morning Worship and Word, but others that have ministry that can be heard. All right. And so that's what we want to do on this platform. All right. Good morning to everybody. See, I'm sounding bouncy. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me clearly? Good morning, Miss Carol Phillips. Good morning, Miss Catherine Campbell. Good morning, everybody. So the sound keep going in and out. The sound ain't clear. I don't know what happened. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The sound is not clear. Okay, let me do something here. All right. So the sound is muffled. How's the sound now? Is it still not clear? Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Y'all sure? Y'all, am I, do y'all understand? Do y'all hear me? Sounds better. I don't know what I did there. I don't know. It's better. I hadn't did anything different. Okay. All right. Miss Kia says fine on her end. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Can y'all hear me? But you can't hear me clear. Can't hear me clear. Miss Kathy said better. Miss Trina says clear. Okay. All right. Okay. That'll okay. So y'all didn't really hear nothing I said then. Okay. Okay. Y'all say it's better, but Miss Trina said it's clear. Okay. All right. What I was saying, I don't know if you heard me. Thank you. Okay, Miss Jordan said leave it alone. It's fine. She said leave it alone. It's fine. uh, okay. What I was talking about was I was talking about the question was asked to me yesterday at Pine Hill. It was asked to me about 94.7. I know some of you have heard that on July the 2nd, there's going to be a transitioning from gospel to sports, and so the question came up: what are we going to do? How are we going to move forward? And I was just saying that a lot of people that's on 94.7, they have a platform that will continue. It may be in other areas, it may be in other places, but it will continue. So be on the lookout for that. And I was just saying how God had blessed me to be able to, even before we even knew that it was going to happen. God allowed me to be able to start this internet radio station and have this platform on Facebook to be able to continue what we were doing on 94.7. So I just want everybody to know that even though we're not on 94.7 or 94.7 won't be gospel 24/7, I do want you to know that the ministries will continue. Um, it will continue. It will continue. That's why I say this in all sincerity. God knows what He's doing. God knows exactly what he is doing. We just have to trust the process. And, you know, years ago, I didn't even know why I was buying this equipment and even some of the equipment that I have. Uh, and I was talking about Sister Charlene Johnson, which I know she's going to get me for mentioning her name. But there are a lot of things that I already had in place, and that God blessed me to be able to come on this platform and and do what I was doing, and even with the internet radio station. And that's why I said sometimes, as bad as we hate to see that situation take place, because I do feel bad for the community, but I also want the community to know that it does not mean that you won't be able to hear gospel music, or you won't be able to hear ministries, because some of those guys are going over into other and bigger things, and we applaud that. And God has blessed me to be able to not only start this platform, but He's also blessed me to be able to have that internet radio station. So the God has a way of doing things. God has a way of doing things, and sometimes we may not understand in the beginning. We may not understand in the beginning, but just because one door closed, it does not mean that it's over. Matter of fact, a bigger door maybe is opening, and that's what I feel is happening with what God is doing with morning worship and word, and with WBTK, the internet radio station. I said this to my brother, and I'm repeating this because some of y'all didn't hear me. Um, I said this to my brother. I never planned for the radio station just take off in the beginning, because it's a growing process. It's a growing process, and I'm still learning some things. You know, that Pastor Reginald T. Burton. That's one of the. I used to work for them over at 93.1 in Batesburg. So that's Reginald Pastor Reginald T. Burton there. So he understands what I'm talking about. A lot of times doors close because God is creating. Thank you for that too. It's all right. It's a blessing in this. See, Charlene is on here. Charlene, I just talked about you. I just talked about you. Um, just like what Pastor Burton said, it's a blessing in disguise. You don't really know, and sometimes God will allow things to happen so that you can step up and do and push you to a place to where you begin to just step out on faith. Step out on faith. I, excuse me. I talked about this on yesterday or the other day, how I was around people who imparted into me. Reverend Burden, uh, Reverend Ulysses Gatson, Richard Adams, a bunch of people. Good morning, Miss Deborah Pearson. A bunch of people poured into me. And I was talking about Sister Charlene Johnson because even before we knew what was going to happen, God was just prophetically orchestrating a whole lot of things that I didn't even uh have to go buy. I didn't have to, go purchase. Um and God just opened that door that these platforms can be on. And like I said, I'm in a learning process. I'm in a learning stage to where I'm learning, but I'm willing to learn, because whatever we do for the kingdom, we ought to do it in the spirit of excellence. And so I'm learning to present my best presentation with sound and all of that. And I appreciate, y'all may not believe it, but I appreciate when you tell me, okay, we can't hear you. You need to tighten up, because sometimes people will take offense to certain things, but I need that, because it's about the ministry being. I want you to hear the message. I want you to hear what God is saying. I want you to hear what God is saying clearly. Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning. Good morning. So thank God for the platform of morning worship and word. Thank God for the platform of WBTK, the internet radio station. And I'll explain to you why um, I turned it. I said quartet and traditional music is because while we are showcasing the up and coming artists, I also wanted to pay homage to those that laid the foundation, that laid the foundation, that we never forget their music and we never forget their contribution to gospel music. So that's the reason why it's the best in quartet in traditional music. So, I appreciate everybody being along on the journey with me. It's a brand new one. And like I said, I appreciate everybody that has been in my life that imparted knowledge, into me. And now I'm grabbing that and I'm using that as I walk through that process. I'm using that. All that stuff is coming back to me. It's just coming back to me. Everything that was said, every discussion, every meeting, all that stuff, it's just coming back to me. And I find myself using the principles that were given to me or that I heard. And so, I just thank God for what he's doing and what he's going to do. Good morning, Miss Adams. Good morning. So here's the thing: as we look at this and we are doing the final broadcast on 94.7, I look at 94.7 as a vehicle that took us for a season, and now God is giving us something that we can just go and we can excel. And I heard somebody say elevation. Even with not only with this platform with morning worship and word, and not only with the platform with WPBTK, but even with the TV show. That was and these are things that Mr. James Smith, he just called me and he told me, he said, I thought about you and I want you to do this. I want you to be a part of this. And I appreciate that opportunity because God knew what was getting ready to take place. This is this is the only thing I'm trying to highlight. He knew. He knew what was getting ready to take place. God knew that this was going to happen because we had no idea until about 2 weeks ago. Even Miss Donna didn't have an idea until about 2 weeks ago. And I want to encourage her. I don't know whether she's listening or not, but I want to encourage her and tell her, you did good. You did good, and not only her, but everybody that was a part of 94.7. It was good. We did good. We did good. We did the best we can. We gave people all we could give them, and there's no hate toward those that are coming in and changing it. That I pray that God gives them success and everything because what it did. Oh, I know I'm gonna get a history lesson. I mean, a English lesson. What it did was it pushed us to go to that place that we were afraid to really go to. Because when you start looking at it, let me tell you something. It is easy to sit behind a microphone and play music. But when you start sitting in that chair of general manager or owner or different things, there are a lot of things, and Reverend Burton can attest to this. There are a lot of things that come into play. And when I started that the internet radio station, I was like, you know what? I have a great appreciation for the general manager. I have a greater appreciation for the program director, the music director. I got a greater appreciation for them because you just don't know how much it takes to keep that radio station going. And some things, and I will admit on here, I was taken for granted. I'm like, well, you ain't got to do nothing but put music in and all that. Now that I got to do it myself, let me tell you something. I have a greater respect for that general manager, that owner. I have a greater respect for them. So, hey, he's just an awesome God. All right. All right. I didn't overtalk. And my guest is supposed to be coming on here. Let me see. And I did invite her. All right. We're going to be talking about the music workshop in a few minutes. Okay. Let me see if she can come on. Oh. There she is. There she is. There she is. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, we're getting ready to hear from none other than, I can't pronounce her last name, so she's going to have to do that. but I'm getting ready to add her in. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful.
In the car again.
Yes, sir. I am. I'm
I'm
on
not
my
going.
way to work, but I stopped to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's look how she said it though. That's slick though. That is slick. That is
Yeah,
slick. Tell them,
that's the truth. That's the
tell,
truth.
tell them what your
I could
last
either.
name.
My last name is Deantonac,
All right, because I couldn't say it.
but everybody in the CSRA know me as Joanne Mathis.
Joanne Mathis. All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
they don't know anything about that Deantonac girl.
Okay. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Joanne Mathis here, who is a tremendous person. I don't know, if you just get to know her, you can't do nothing but love her. And she is getting ready to talk about the upcoming gospel music workshop that's going to take place beginning July the 19th. And I'm going to put this flyer up here so everybody can see it. Miss Joanne, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to talk about this workshop.
Okay, well, as I said, I am formerly Joanne Mathis, now Deantonac, and I'm from Trenton, South Carolina. I'm a former member of Shaws Creek Baptist Church in Trenton, South Carolina. I'm a graduate of Strom Thurmond High School. I now serve as the praise and worship leader at Faith Christian Center in Washington, Georgia. I reside in Grovetown, Georgia. I love the Lord. I love people, and it's a great day to be alive.
Absolutely, absolutely, and well, I appreciate you coming on here to talk about this great workshop that's going to take place. And I know you're excited about it. I am. And I need to be in some of these classes, as you can see, because, I had to adjust my mic. Thank God for morning worship and word team. But this is the workshop, ladies and gentlemen, the Gospel Music Workshop 2023, a community wide event. And it's absolutely free. It
Free.
begins July the 19th through the 23rd. Miss Joanne, tell us something about it.
Okay, now this has been going on for several years at Good Shepherd, and it's sponsored by the Good Shepherd Baptist Church in Augusta, Georgia, with the Reverend Dr. Clarence Moore as pastor. But Good Shepherd is the host of this great event. It is for the entire CSRA. Matter of fact, we're reaching out to other states, Georgia, we're reaching out to North Carolina, other areas, because we want people to come in to witness this great workshop. And as Bishop said earlier, this is a free workshop. And it's not a lot of things that is quality today that is free. This is a quality, well knowledged, great facilitators. That Wednesday night, starting July 19th, is going to be audio visual. And with COVID, a lot of church has changed. Church has completely changed. We go Facebook Live now, we do conference calls. So we're going to teach in this workshop what churches need if they are audio or and visual, what they need to do, because you got people out here who are not honest, and we don't want our churches to be taken advantage of by purchasing equipment or having equipment that you really don't need. So we have Mr. Matthew Schwartz. He's coming in for this workshop that begins Wednesday at 5:30, and then on Thursday we have Mr. Alvin Devon Jackson and Kamari Fuller coming out of Macon, Georgia, and they're going to talk about media. So all of this ties into how our churches have changed the way we do service now. You can stream live, and a lot of churches doing that. So they're going to come in and talk about that and how to use your equipment properly and the purpose of the equipment, and to make sure that you don't have unnecessary equipment. And then on Friday is when the music begins. We have on Friday night our ministers of youth and youth leaders, pastors, anyone that's involved with the youth at your church. Mr. Alphaeus Anderson, who is worldwide known. He's an awesome, awesome person, and he's right out of the area of Spartanburg, Greenville. He's going to come in and he's going to be working with our pastors, our youth leaders, um, youth department heads, anybody that's interested in the ministry part of the church, not necessarily being a preacher, but the ministry part of, because we all are ministers, the ministry part of the church. Mr. Alphaeus Anderson is coming in, and the plus thing on this is that after the workshop, he's going to be doing free monthly Zoom meetings to follow up with those who attend the workshop to make sure that what you learn, you're putting it in action, or if you need some help with something. So for a whole year, this workshop will continue in the youth and the ministers department under Mr. Alphaeus Anderson via Zoom. So I think that's an awesome thing. Like I said, for another year, after July, he's going to be following up with churches monthly to make sure that you understood and that if there's anything that he can do to help you in building your ministry. Then we also have for our choir, we have Miss Regina Skeeters. She's going to be she's going to be teaching our babies, the church of tomorrow, actually the church of today, how she's going to be working with them, and they'll be learning to sing, and they will be doing their concert on Sunday. So bring your babies out, ages 5 to 11. Let me reiterate again, this is free, 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 free. So the whole family can participate in this. Then we also have our youth ages from 12 to 19. That's going to be done by Mr. Cabra Benford, and he's actually the music director at Benedict College. So that's for our young adults, 12 to 19. And he'll be working with them. They also will be performing concert on Sunday. So as I said, it's for the entire family. Then the finale, this man is awesome, Dr. John Paul McGee. He is absolutely, absolutely, I can't say enough about him. He's coming in and he's going to work with the adults on praise and worship. Everything we sing in praise and worship is not a praise and worship song. So
Absolutely.
and he's just phenomenal. If you go on YouTube, you can follow him. He has several recordings out. I think now he's director of music at Benton College, and I can't recall right now where it is, but I think it's in Baltimore. But he's coming in to work with the adults, and he's been there. I think this is probably the 4th year we've had him, and we just keep wanting him to come back. He is phenomenal. So as I said earlier, this event is for the entire family. So please, please, please support it. Brother Fitzgerald Ryans, who is a former member of Shaw's Creek, former graduate of Strong Thermal High School, former native of Trenton, sponsors this. He's the director or the minister of music at Good Shepherd, and he puts his whole heart into this. And he tries so very hard to keep it free. But let me advise you, it's not free, but it's
Mhm.
going to be free to you.
Mhm.
So he works real hard. We get sponsors, and we're grateful for our sponsors. And if you choose to sponsor, you can reach out to any of us. But Mr. Ryans wants to keep this free because his main concern is that the church has to grow. The church needs to move forward. The church needs to be a server. And that's what this workshop, we're hoping that everyone will leave with that knowledge of being a better Christian, loving God more, trusting God more, and learning to do things in the right way. There's an order for everything. God is a God of order, and sometimes we get away from the order because we get
Mhm.
into the emotions and what satisfies us. But the main thing we need to do is to give God the glory, the honor, and the praise, and that's what this workshop is all about.
Absolutely. You put it in perspective, and it sounds exciting, and it's informative. Now y'all looking at Miss Joanne, but Miss Joanne is, I wish she would just keep the camera where we can see her
I'm
because
sorry.
she must be holding it as something. Lord
Let
have
me do this. Let's see if I can do this. I
yeah,
told you that I'm not computer savvy.
yeah, we saw
Okay,
that last yeah, we saw that
is
last
that
night.
better?
That's better. Yeah.
You didn't supposed to talk about last night, did you? I thought that was secret.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, I couldn't get on last night, everybody. That's what Bishop talking about. I didn't know what I was doing,
Yeah,
but he taught me through it.
yeah. We all learned last night. All of us learned. But now Miss Joanne is a great singer herself. I don't know how many have heard her, but she's a great singer herself and a great person. And so we just thank God for you, and we thank God for Brother Ryan's making this free to
Yes,
understand
yes,
that we need to know order. And you said it
yes,
good. Sometimes we operate out of order, and
yes.
but we perish, though we perish for the lack of knowledge. So,
That's right.
um, this is an opportunity to go and get knowledge, and you can get it absolutely free,
Free.
absolutely
Yes,
free. Yeah,
yes.
just
Now
wait
there
for
is
us
a
to do that.
registration. You can pre-register. You can go. We have a website, and let me give you that website. But you don't have to pre-register. You can register the day of the workshop. But if you want to pre-register, the website is www.goodshepherdaugusta.org. Again, that's www.goodshepherd, GOODSHEPHERD, Augusta.org. But if you don't register, pre register, we'll have people in place the day of to register.
All right, and y'all see that on your screen. The Good Shepherd Baptist Church presents the Gospel Music Workshop 2023, a community-wide event. Miss Joanne, thank you for being on here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. And again, I just encourage everyone to please come out. And I promise you, I can give you my word, and I don't do this a lot, but you will not be disappointed in what's going to be offered right here in the CSRA. And again, it's free. And I like to also give kudos to Dr. Clarence Moore for allowing this to happen at Good Shepherd Baptist Church. He's very supportive of this, and we thank God for him and his leadership.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've had the privilege to be there to sing with the Mill Chorus. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I had the privilege, and they are some, good hospitality, good people, and we just thank God for that. Thank you, Miss Trina, for putting that down in the comments. www. Good Shepherd Augusta org. Okay, all right.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much. Now listen, before you go, because I said you was a great singer,
Yes,
and Miss
sir.
Litchmore says she's awesome. Mama Georgia says she's been knowing you from a little girl. We're not going to go into that. We're not even. We're not. I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, yes, sir. We're gonna leave that one alone.
I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that because I already got chastised last this Saturday past by Miss Georgia. Lord, it was something else. But hit a little bit for us. But before that, tell us about your the business.
Oh, yes, sir. I am. I need to throw in my business. I have been a tax preparer for 25 years, and I'm a tax preparer for H.T. Harris Tax Service in Augusta, Georgia. We have a location in Aiken, South Carolina. We have a location in Greenville, South Carolina. We have a location in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. And we have a location in Columbia, South Carolina. So I've been doing taxes for 25 years. Come see us. We're fast, friendly, and affordable. We'll take care of
Amen.
you. We'll
Amen.
take care of you.
They will do that. I've been there.
Yes, sir.
It-
He's been right there with us, and we're grateful for him.
That's right.
He won't do what I asked him to do, but he's been there with us.
I'm gonna do better. And that's all them folk here. You couldn't say that privately.
Oh,
And that's-
we love you. We love you. We love you. We
okay,
love
now, since you didn't plug your your
you.
business, now they want you to sing a little bit now. And somebody
Really?
said, "Sing a piece of God." As a matter of fact, Minister LaShawn said, uh, "Sing a piece of God is."
Ooh, she took me back to Shaw's Creek.
That is right. You did.
God is the joy of the strength of my life. He moves all pain, misery, and strife. He promised to keep me, never to leave me. He's never, never come short of his word. I've got to fast and pray, stay in the narrow way. I'll keep my life clean every day. I want to go with him when he comes back. I've come too far and I never go back. God is, God is, God is, God is, God is my all and all.
All right. You heard them cheering. They were cheering for you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Joanne, for joining us here on Morning Worship. We appreciate
Thank you, sir, for having me.
You're
God
welcome.
bless everyone. Have an awesome Monday.
All right. You too now.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All right. Y'all heard Miss Joanne. That's right. Miss Joanne. Miss Joanne. She can sing. I was waiting on her to go on that high note, though. Because she can do it. She can take it up there. She can take it up there. Yep, she has a beautiful voice. Good morning to everybody that I didn't see. I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to think I was ignoring you, but I didn't want to interrupt the interview. But we thank God for her, and don't forget about the Good Shepherd Baptist Church and the workshop. Yeah, I see. Y'all was waiting on it too. Y'all was waiting on it too. I'm gonna have to bring her back. I'll have to bring her back so she can get, because she can hit that high note now. She can hit that. I was waiting on it too. God bless you, Miss Fanny Mathis. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed being there. I enjoyed the atmosphere and everything. All right, we're going to move right along here on Morning Worship and Word. You know, that was my first really interview. Let me do. I'm gonna have to get my own stuff. So I'm learning how to work this a little bit. Thanks to Shawty Doo-Wop and LaShawn last night. I want to say thank them because I practice on them, interviewing them. It wasn't live or nothing like that, but it was a test, and so I want to thank them. Oh well, LaShawn can also. Oh yeah, they can hit them high notes. They can hit them. They can hit them. We're going to have to bring her on so she can do it for us too. Good morning, Coach Edwards. Good morning to everybody. Miss Aline Grissom, to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we're going to continue more with Morning Worship and Word. We want to say to you, we pray that you are enjoying yourself, and we're going to move on, and we're going to listen to Brother Josh Miles with I Wish on Morning Worship and Word. Good morning. Dr. Joy Bob Knight.
Change the world.
Me too, Ms. Wickfall. Me too.
Oh yeah. Men, women, little boys and girls, listen. I wish the people of the world had more love in their hearts. Instead of helping your neighbor, we try to tear them apart. I think we as people should lend a hand when we can. But look at me. I'm only just one man, but oh,
Thank you, Mama Georgia.
Would you help me say it like this? I wish, ooh, yeah. I wish we could open eyes, see where we're going, turn around. I wish we could stop all the violence, give a little more love. Oh yeah. I wish trouble would go away. I wish that everybody could be happy every day. And I wish I had a lot of money.
Good morning, Miss Murder Stately. Cousin Carla, good morning.
All the millionaires, but that's all we like to live for. And then I will gonna take the one that run the streets all night, help them find a way out, and show them a better way of life. Everybody in the building, clap your hands, come on. Clap your hands, come on. Clap those hands. Now let me hear you say, yeah, yeah. Oh, la 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 la
Hey everybody, I'm Bishop Billy Smith, and as CEO and owner of WBTK, the Word Internet radio station, listen, I just want to say thank you for all of your support and all of what you're doing, and we just thank you for listening as we continue to bring you the best in gospel music. Listen, though, if you want to advertise, your business, your ministry, or whatever it is that you want to advertise, all you have to do is get in touch with our salesperson, who is Miss Margaret Sparrow, at 803-842-5797. She'll be glad to assist you, and we're looking forward to your business. And I promise you, do our best to make you proud of us. All right. Excited about you again being here. Again, it is very, very humbling and very, very awesome experience that we have you here to hear and listen to the great gospel music. Now, those of you that have not had the experience, all you have to do is go to www.wbtk.com. It takes you directly to this radio station. You'll go to the website, and all you have to do is hit listen now, and you will be connected to WBTK, the Word. All right, now let's get back to some great gospel music right here on your favorite internet radio station.
Just what you sow. Come on. Come on here. Sow good seed. Sow good seed. You better sow good seed. Sow good seed. You gonna reap. Oh yeah. Just what you sow. You can be on the mountain. On the mountain. You can be in the valley. In the valley. You gonna reap. Oh yeah. Just what you sow. Oh, sow good seed. Sow good seed.
That's the hardest Bush. Lady Frida Bush, good morning. It's Willie Mae Pixley, good morning, good morning.
What I want you to do is tell your neighbor. Go and tell your friend. Tell them they got to read. Oh yeah. Just what they sow. Let me tell you what people will do sometimes. People will do anything to get to the top, and they won't even look around. If you don't sow good seeds on your way up, one day you will surely come down. You better sow good seed. Sow good seed. Oh, sow good seed. Oh, you gonna reap. Oh, yeah. Just what? Oh, yeah. You sow. You can't get too high. You can be on the mountain. On the mountain. You can be down in the valley. In the valley. But you gonna reap. Oh, yeah. Just what? Oh, yeah. You sow. Oh, so good seed, yeah. So good seed. Everybody here tonight, so good seed. So good seed. Oh, you gon' reap. Oh, yeah. Just what? You gon' reap what you sow. I want you to do this. Go and tell your neighbor. Tell your neighbor. Go and tell your friend, yeah. Tell your friend. Tell them they got to reap. Oh, yeah. Just what? Let me tell you one more thing what people do. Look at here.
Hey, Mama Patricia.
You can grab
Good
me in
morning.
the face and stab me in the back, and you think that that's all right. But don't you know what's done in the dark? One day it's gonna come to the light. You better sow good seed. Sow good seed. Tell somebody to sow good seed, yeah. Sow good seed. Tell them you gonna reap everything. Just what? Everything you sow. Oh, up on the mountain. On the mountain. Down in the valley, yeah. In the valley. You gonna reap. Can I tell you one more thing what people will do? Let me tell you what they'll do. Look at here. Talk about the mold that's in my eyes, and they can't see the beam in theirs. You know why? They're slipping and sliding, peeping and hiding, living like they just don't care. You better sow good seed. Sow good seed. Everybody sow good seed, yeah. Sow good seed. Oh, you gon' reap everything. Just what? Oh, yeah. You sow. Oh, Lord. Tell your neighbor. Tell your neighbor. Go and tell your friend, yeah. Tell your friend. Tell them they got to reap. Oh, yeah. Just what I'm trying to tell you. Whatever it is you've been doing, I want you to know that you're gonna reap it. 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 Does anybody here know what I'm talking about? You're gonna reap. You're gonna reap. You're gonna reap. Lie on me if you want to. It's all right. You're gonna reap. It's coming up. You're gonna reap. Coming up again. You're gonna reap. Can I get a witness here that don't mind letting somebody know to sow good seed? Can I get me some witnesses here? Put your hand together. Good God Almighty. What I want you to do, what I want you to do, give God the praise with all your strength and all your might. Because I want to tell you one thing. Whatever you do is coming up again. You can't do wrong and get away. It's coming up again on Judgment Day. Good God Almighty, yeah. Good God Almighty. Somebody in here is starting up loud, digging ditches in somebody's path, causing trouble in somebody's home. I want you to know one thing. Everybody here gonna reap what you sow. Preachers, you too, you're gonna reap it. Preachers, you too, you're gonna reap it. You're gonna reap it. Deacons, you too, you're gonna reap it. You're gonna reap it. Deacons, you too, you're gonna reap it. Church members, you're gonna reap it. Can I get a witness? You're gonna reap it. Church members, you're gonna reap it. Mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, you're gonna reap it. What you sow.
Oh, what a true song. What a true song. Sow good seeds, because you're going to reap what you sow. All right, we're going to move on with some more announcements. Here is an announcement that we want you to take a look at. It's a cookout and fundraiser for Master Barber Payne. Yep, AKA. Yep, that's him. That's my classmate. We call him Taranji back in the day, Taranji Payne. It's going to be a cookout and a fundraiser. Donations and all proceeds will go towards kidney for Mr. Payne. Dinner plates will be $13. You can contact Pastor Damian Bryan for details. And this is going to take place on Saturday, June the 24th at 11 a.m. at the Chamber of Commerce building located at 416 Calhoun Street in Johnston, South Carolina. Now, for more information, you can contact 803-480-4491. The number again is 803-480-4491. I pray that all of us participate in this fundraiser and cookout for Brother Taranji Payne. I can remember him in school, and he is actually doing what he was doing in middle school, not high school, but in middle school. He started cutting people's hair in middle school, and great young man, great asset to the community. And so, we want to do what we can to help him in order to make sure that he gets that kidney. All right, so it's a cookout fundraiser. Donations, all proceeds will go towards the kidney for Mr. Payne. Dinner plates will be $13. All right, so let's go out and support this. Also coming up, this is a Soulful Reunion. There's going to be a music festival July the 8th from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. And yours truly will be a part of this, along with Benitra the Boss Lady and For Christ, and a host of other artists are going to be there. This is going to take place again July the 8th on let's see, I think that's on a Saturday, and I'm trying to find out where it's going. It's going to be at the Vineyard and Orchard on 1772 Holmes Pond Road. Vineyard and Orchard on 172 Holmes Pond Road. I said yard. Road. It's going to take place there. It's the Soulful Reunion Music Festival. So those of you that don't have anything to do that day, come on out and support this music festival. Also, don't forget, again, as we've been talking about, we are on the air, WBTK, The Word, the best in traditional and quartet music, 24/7, every day. All right, we're going to play one more song, and then we're going into the Word on this morning. And we pray that you are having a good start to your day. We know this is Monday. I tell you, I also want to say to all of you again, I appreciate you coming out and supporting the Family Reunion Gospel Concert on Saturday. I mean, thank you so much. Thank you for your encouragement, and it meant a lot to us to see you in the building. So we want to say thank you to all of you, and we pray that God will bless you tremendously for all of your unselfish act and kindness that you showed toward us at the concert. So we appreciate you to the highest. All right, here's another song by the Gospel 4, and then we're coming back with the Word of God. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Dorothy Edwards. Good morning. Hey, Ms.
When I got up this morning and I saw a new day, I said, one more blessing, Lord, that you sent my way. When I looked around and I saw everybody doing okay, I said, one more blessing, Lord, that you sent my way. Lord, you bless me over and over and all through the day. I said one more blessing. When I got up this morning and I kneeled down to pray, I said one more blessing, Lord, that you sent my way. And then he said, whatever is right, he said, I would pay. I said, one more blessing, Lord, you sent my way. You bless me over and over, and all through the day. I said, one more blessing, Lord. You know what? Lord, you bless me with joy and peace. And then you told me you would supply my need.
Good morning, the legendary James Green. Good morning.
In my life, they turn cloudy and gray. Oh, you keep on sending blessings my way. When I got up,
Yes, sir.
I kneel down to pray. I said one more blessing, Lord. You send my way. You know what? My money, it got funny.
Good morning, Ms. Willie Fixler.
You helped me to pay. I said one more blessing. You sent my way. You blessed me over and over again. One more blessing that you sent my way. All I know is one more blessing. One more blessing.
Good morning, Cousin Wanda. Good morning.
One more blessing. One more. Wait a minute. There was a young man. One more blessing. The police broke in his home. One more blessing. Over in the night. One more blessing. And the young man had to defend himself. One more blessing. And the police died. Y'all don't hear me.
Good morning, Mamie
And they
Long.
tried to
Good morning.
frame the young man. One more blessing. They told him that we're gonna give you life. One more blessing. You can't tell me that God won't send blessing when you need it. One more blessing. God sent a young man by. One more blessing. And said, I tell you, I'm going to get my own lawyer. Lawyer cost about $75,000. And don't nobody throw out no money like that unless God sent a blessing. I'm here to tell you, just about 3 days ago, they had to let the young man go free. I'll just stop by to tell you that God got one more blessing. One more blessing. I said one more blessing that you sent my
I thank you for one more blessing that you sent my way. Father, we thank you for your grace and your mercy. We just thank you because you are an awesome God, and we are just excited about what you're doing and what you want to do. We God, as we go to your word, we look for the increase of your increase of the Lord tonight. Just have our heart beats and outside the Lord, not strength and our ability. So, Jesus, that we pray. Amen. Good morning, Sister Cheryl, and Brother Brother Samuel. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As we were talking earlier about when one door closes and God opens up another door, wait for you to experience, uh, the blessing of the Most High. Let's see what's going on. What's going on with this? Good morning, Deborah Williams. Can y'all hear me now? Uh, how about now? Can y'all hear me? How about now? Can y'all hear me? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I don't know what's going on because I didn't do nothing no different. I don't know if it's the internet or is it storming somewhere or something. But okay, so y'all can hear me. All right. Okay. So we were talking earlier about when one door closes and God opens up another door. And sometimes we, even with that door closing, we have this question. Oh, it's thundering now. Okay. Okay. So that might be what's going on then. And so when we have questions like, the situation with the radio station and all of that, and we start looking at different things, and we start looking at what could have been, and what we could have done and all that stuff, and not really embracing the fact that it may be just like what Pastor Burton said, it could have been a blessing in disguise. And what that means is it it pushes you to do whatever it is that God has really placed uh, in your path to do. And so when I look at that, and the scripture that came to me was Philippians uh, 3 and 13. And I just want to focus on that 13th verse when Paul says, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before." Before. I'm forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. And when we begin to look at that, and what is Paul is saying, Paul is actually saying that, I've had a past, I've done this, I've done that, I've participated in this, I've participated in that, and now my focus is toward the future, not what's behind me, but it's toward the future. And the one thing that I do know, even in this situation, that God prepares, He prepares, and He uses unlikely sources. Um, as you heard my testimony before, that God put people in my path to be able to produce the necessary things that needed to happen, because He knew what was going to happen. And that's why I always tell people when I talk about how He sent out His disciples, He didn't just only give them the power and the authority, but He prepared them. He prepared them. He gave them instructions, and He forewarned them about what they were going to have to endure. Not just only, I'm giving you power and I'm giving you authority, but I'm also warning you to let you know that this is what you're going to have to encounter. This is what you're going to have to go through, even though you have the power. Even though I've given you authorization to do what you're doing, you're going to face this. You're going to see this. This is going to happen. You see? So when we look at these things and we look at God and how he is pushing us to greater, and sometimes in the processing, we don't understand, well, why did that have to happen? Or why did that door have to close? Or why did this take place? Why is this happening? It's because it ain't always that it's doom and gloom. It's sometimes God is pushing you to greater. And sometimes we wouldn't experience it if we kept going in our routine, if we stayed in our shell, if we stayed in our comfort zone. We wouldn't be able to experience it because we're just functioning, and we're just going in a circle, and nothing is challenging. Nothing is become just a routine. But now that God has opened up that door to where you can experience brand new things, greater things. You see, you're experiencing. You see, because one thing that I do know, the enemy sometimes, as he plays his part in this, is that he would think, okay, well, I've shut it down, or I shut them down, or they don't have this and they don't have that now, so they're going to be helpless, or they're going to be hopeless. And what he doesn't know is that God has already prepared you for when that door closed, that you walk through the next door. You see, that you walk through the next door, you walk through the next season, the next phase of your life. Because guess what? God knows what's best for me. God has it all planned out for you, for us. He has it all planned out for us. And so before you start, getting into a place to where you just say, well, I don't know, what am I going to do? You are prepared. God prepares you. Now, sometimes we don't want to embrace it because we're so comfortable where we are, because it's not challenging. It's the routine. We're familiar with it, and it doesn't present that greater challenge to us. So sometimes we're so comfortable in where we are until we don't realize that going to the next phase is not a bad thing, but it has a lot of benefits. You see, you start experiencing things that you wouldn't have experienced if you never would have arise. Go that word again, arise. If you never would have took action, if you never would have put it into operation, you haven't experienced things because you're choosing to dwell in a place to where you feel like that, hey, this is where I need to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. Remember, when the brook dried up, God told Elijah, go to Zarephath. Go there. You can't get nothing else here because that's dried up. I ain't even commanded the ravens to feed you here anymore because I've told you to move. You see? So the thing is, good morning, Miss Laverne Carter. The thing is, what we have to understand is some things is pushing us to greater. What looks like it's a bad thing actually turns out to be a good thing. That's what Joseph told his brothers. The thing that y'all did, y'all meant it for evil, but God turned it around for my good. See, it was evil thinking on your part. You orchestrated this out of evil. You did this out of malice and jealousy. You see, out of envy. You did all of this out of this, but what you did it because you were promoted and you were influenced by evil. But God turned that around for my good, because what happens is it did not stop him from getting to the palace. What God had showed him, what God had revealed to him, came to pass. So no matter what they orchestrated, what they tried to put in play, calling themselves trying to stop what God had ordained, what God had orchestrated. And sometimes, my brothers and sisters, what we have to understand is, and again, I talked about this the other day, we cannot give a platform and begin to engage with people who are critical of us, who have opinions of us, because once you do that, that means that you have just played into what the enemy wants you to play into, because now your whole conversation is about haters and who don't like this and who don't do this and who don't do that. That's your whole conversation. Now you have lost focus, because now that's what we're talking about. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with that. You're dealing with your haters. You're dealing with this, and all of us are going to experience opinions, criticism, all that stuff. That comes with the assignment. You're going to experience that. But here's the thing: you have to have the mindset that not only that I hear it, I see it, but I'm not going to allow it to distract me. I'm moving forward. You see, I'm moving forward. I'm going forward. I cannot entertain this. I can't entertain what's on the left. I cannot entertain what's on the right. I cannot entertain that, because I'm moving forward. You see, I'm moving forward. I'm going forward. And see, people will look at you and say, "Oh, well, you don't act the same. You ain't like you didn't change." Yes, I have. Yes, you have. You've changed. Why? Because you understand that if you engage in that stuff, if you allow yourself to be pulled in that stuff, then what it does is it makes you lose focus. You see? And when God begins to move you, this is what Paul is saying. Brethren, I'm forgetting those things which are behind me, and I'm pressing. I'm moving. Y'all can talk about my past. Y'all can talk about this. Y'all can talk about that. That's y'all's choice. You want to have that discussion? You want to have that conversation? That's people. If people want to have a conversation about you, that's them. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to entertain it or allow it to distract me, because I'm moving forward. And I do know that that's a tactic of the enemy to distract us from moving forward. We're moving forward. That's why God is giving you the idea. That's why God is giving you the business. That's why God is giving you the blueprint, so that you can move forward. And this is how you know who is for you and who's against you. Because if you are for an individual, when you see the hand of God, not only the hand of God, but you see that work effort, and you see all of the things that they're doing, and you know that God has put his approval on it. This is when you know when people can celebrate with you, when folk can celebrate with you, when folk can genuinely celebrate and love you and say, "I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you." Because believe it or not, my brothers and sisters, and it's not in every situation, but there's some people that have gratification to seeing you at a certain level. As long as you stay there, you're all right. You get their adoration, you get all of that stuff, because you stayed at that position. You ain't getting no higher. You're just there. You're just there. And a lot of times people will celebrate you when you just at a certain place. But when you start rising, when you start elevating, when God starts pulling you up and you start coming up, you see, because you're not where people thought that you would end up at. God has his hands on you. God is the one that's doing the elevating. God is the one that's pulling you up. God is the one that's raising you up. You see? And you have to understand that sometimes people enjoy seeing you at a certain place. Some people enjoy you being dependent on them. Some people enjoy that you being dependent on them because it gives them a sense of power. They feel like that they have a sense of power that because you're dependent on them, then they feel like that they're in control, that they can manipulate. They can they can say whatever they want to say to you, and you just got to take it. Or tell you this is what you I want you to do this, and you got to do it. You got to do it. And that's what people feel sometimes because they feel like you're dependent on them. But when you become independent and you become free, you see, when you become free and you begin to move into the direction that God has given to you, that means that person is losing their grip. They're losing their control. They feel like they're losing their control. They feel like they're losing their grip. And now what happens is this is where the reaction, this is where people start speaking from this place, of where you think you all of that now. And I remember when I did this for you, and I remember when you was this, and I remember when you was that, and I remember I gave you this and I gave you that, and then all of that start coming up because now you're no longer under their control. No, well, I shouldn't say control, but you're no longer dependent on them. That's what I want to use the word control, but you're no longer dependent on them. Now they don't have to go fishing for you. You can catch your own fish because you was taught how to fish. You know, they don't have to go catch it for you. You catch it for yourself now. You know how to put the worm. I'm just using this as a example. You know how to put the worm on the hook, and you know what to do now. So you don't have to depend on a person to bait your hook or to fish for you. You see, because you know how to do that yourself. Now you're no longer dependent, but you know how to do it. You know how to do it on your own. You know how to do it. And now as you are growing and you maturing, you see, you see, and this is the thing that people now you're being funny. Now you think you're all of that. Then here come the creativity of people. Now narratives start coming out and this and that. But this again, you cannot be distracted by that. If you play into that, you see, if you play into that and you entertain that, and that's your whole conversation, then you have just fell into the trap that the enemy wants you to fall into, which is now you having a discussion about your critics and people that have opinions. And this is part of elevation. You see, this is where you have to stay focused. This is where you have to remain focused. And then you have to have the attitude. You call me whatever you want to call me. You can feel whatever you want to feel about me, but I see better. I see greater. And I don't have to settle. I don't have to settle for where I am. I don't have to continue to just settle for this place. See, in the book of Kings, I believe, when Elisha, they were in this place. I think it was the school of the prophets, and because the people started coming in and it started growing, the place got too small. It got too small. So what did they do? They had to go and say, "You look, we're gonna have to go and we're gonna have to build something bigger to contain because now where we're dwelling at now, it has become too small. Some things you outgrow." Let me say that again. Some things you outgrow. There's no way in the world that I can put on what I had on at 3 or 4 or 5 years old because simply I've outgrown that. which means those are child clothes. Now I'm on an adult. You see, and there's some things you outgrow. You outgrow. You outgrow being outgrow doing childish stuff. You know, you just outgrow it. You see, when I was a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. You see, and so there's some things you just outgrow. There's some things when you outgrow it, you don't participate in it. You don't participate in it. You don't desire to be a part of that because you outgrown it. You've outgrown it. You don't want no parts of it because you know that it's nothing but a hinder. It's nothing but a distraction. It does not make you conceited. It does not make you arrogant, but it makes you focus. You see, it makes you focus. Now, people will put you in those categories because you're not participating in their behavior. You're not participating in what they're orchestrating or what they're doing. So what happens is then they'll put you in that place of now they think they all of that. They think they arrogant and all. No, they ain't so much that people are arrogant. It's just that people don't are tired of playing childish games. You know, and some people hadn't grown up. They are adults, but they still in a child's mindset. You see, they hadn't grown up. They hadn't matured. You see, see that's basically what it is. Absolutely, cousin Wanda, you're standing on a different platform. So the thing of it is, when you've outgrown something, and this is what the worst thing you can do is apologize. Do not apologize for elevation. Do not apologize for outgrowing some things because once you were in it, you were guilty of it because you were blind by it. But now that you have your eyes open and you've been growing and you've been being cultivated and all of that, now that you've outgrown that, now you decided that I'm not going to participate in this behavior. I'm not going to participate in these conversations. I'm not going to participate in the things that are being orchestrated because I do understand that as I move forward, that the enemy cannot stop anything that God has established. But what he tries to do is he tries to distract, throwing different things into your view, coming up and conjuring up different things. This is where maturity comes in. You see, here's where maturity comes in. And some of us are apologizing and saying because that the people do not understand. Do you not know that everybody can't go where you're going? That don't mean that you mean spirited. That means that everybody is not designed to go where you're going. And you'll be doing yourself a disservice and you'll be doing them a disservice by taking them there. Because number one, you may be taking them into danger that they're not prepared for. And sometimes what we have to do is sometimes cut. We have to understand how to separate, you know, because a lot of us are tied to people emotionally. And sometimes God is saying that even though that you're tied to them emotionally, they cannot come where you are right now because some people are not prepared for that. And so you can be bringing folk into a dangerous place because they're not prepared for it. And the instructions was given to you to come alone. You see? Well, look like when they made it, look like they would have reached. Yeah, it's a time for that. But sometimes God will tell you, okay, now you get in there, and this is what people do not understand is processing. It's processing. You get the individual that God has designated gets to that place and gets in there and walks in that and into that place, and then after being settled, after different things, then that's what Joseph told his brothers. God put me, he sent me, even the way, even the process. The process was uncomfortable, but he sent me here because he knew that that famine was coming. And he knew that they were going to be involved in there. So Joseph was sent before them. Even Joseph acknowledged it. He acknowledged it. I was sent before you. It was necessary for me to go through what I went through in order to be where I am because, see, it didn't change my destiny. All that stuff y'all tried to do, all that stuff that y'all came up to do, it did not change my destiny. What God said was for me, it's for me. It didn't change anything. And matter of fact, God sent me here because he knew that you guys were going to be in the midst of that famine. You see? So if some people knew that when God moved you to where you are, that it's going to sustain them, they probably would have treated you better in the process. Because the Bible says when Joseph reveals himself to his brothers, because his brothers don't even know him, when he revealed himself, they anticipated him retaliating. And he had to calm them down. Don't get yourself all worked up. Don't worry. I'm not here to retaliate. I'm not here to retaliate. I know what y'all did. Y'all meant it for evil, but God turned that around for my good. I'm here. You in the midst of the famine. You my family. No matter what you've done to me, I'm going to put you in a place called Goshen. You see, this is where maturity comes in because you don't retaliate. You don't treat people like they treated you. And believe it or not, that is the guilt. Because what happens is they're expecting you to respond the same way they responded to you. But when you've gone through maturity, when you've matured, when you've grown, you don't respond the way they did to you. That's why some people are groundbreakers. They are meant to make. That's right. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. That's why people that like that, they are groundbreakers. They are meant to make the way. John prepared the way for Jesus. This is what people got to understand. And so Jesus didn't get jealous of John. He prepared the way. He was preparing the way. And sometimes we don't understand that we're doing our own self a disservice when you are getting upset, when you begin to get in your emotions and you get in yourself, and you don't understand that God has put people to be just what cousin daughter said, groundbreakers, to prepare the way. To prepare the way. Because at that time, it ain't for everybody to come.
It's preparing a way. Those Mexicans don't bring their whole families over here when they come over here at first. Preparing, saving up. And while they're doing that, sending money back home. Preparing. And some of us, we are crucifying. I like that. I'm gonna use that. We are crucifying groundbreakers because they don't take you with them at first. And I like that they ought to took me with them. Then why don't you just let the process play out? Why don't you just let the person break the ground, and you don't even know that God still got you in mind. He still got you in mind. I said this on yesterday about the elder son when he got upset about the baby boy, the youngest boy, because he had left home, and then they wanted to throw a celebration for him. The daddy, I ain't went nowhere. I did exactly what you told me to do, and you ain't gave me no party. Good morning, Elgin Pringle. Good morning. And happy Father's Day to you too. You ain't throwing me no party. You ain't put no ring on my finger. You ain't give me no robe. And and now if you take that and turn it to today, man, I did all of this and I did all of that, man. They ain't give me no credit. They didn't say this and me. They ain't did that. And what he did not understand was everything his father had, he had. There was no reason for him to be upset. There was no reason for him to be jealous. Good morning, Sister Grace. There was no reason for that. And sometimes we don't understand that we hurt people, or we try to come against the groundbreakers, and the groundbreakers are just it's just there to do that. To break the ground, make the pathway clear. That's what John did. He made the pathway for Jesus to come. He was the forerunner. We're trying to kill the forerunners, and don't know that when you try to come against who God has ordained to be the forerunner, then you putting yourself in a place to where you may not even receive. Because you won't trust the process. You won't trust the plan. When the groundbreakers start breaking up the ground and stuff start happening and things start happening, then you can get in your flesh and you can say, well, they should have did this and they should have did that. Just let the process play out, and then everybody wins. Because whether you believe it or not, that's a part of being selfish. I'm just only thinking of myself. I'm not thinking about everybody else. I'm thinking of myself. I'm just thinking of myself right now. See, when you talk about maturity, you're talking about growing. That's why I keep telling people, growth in the spirit realm is not based on how loud you holler. It ain't based on how many times you run around that church. It is not based on that. Your spiritual growth it is based on you growing, your maturity, what you can take. Because you can run around that church. You can holler, you can scream, you can have water just locking under your jaws. You can be just doing all of the things that we do in church and still don't grow. Because that's what Paul told the Corinthian church. He said, I cannot feed y'all meat because y'all still at the same level I left y'all. When I came here in the beginning, you were babes. Now you're still acting like babes when you should be growing. That's what he told him in the 3rd chapter of Corinthians. He said, y'all still where I left y'all. Y'all ain't growed. And he told them why. The reason y'all ain't growed because y'all got this envy, y'all got this strife, y'all got this division, y'all got all this stuff going on. And this is the product of being immature. You see? This is why this stuff is going on. Y'all just being the immaturity, it shows. It just shows. I agree, Ms. Laverne. I agree. Amen, Coach Edwards. You see? Growing, moving forward. And I'm learning to watch my circle. Yep, I'm still learning that. Watch my circle. The Bible tells us to watch and pray. You see? Y'all, my time has run out. I'm going to continue with this on tomorrow. And maybe we'll bring some people in for discussion with this on tomorrow. But I pray that you hear, because some of us on this live, God is preparing us for greater. But you cannot be distracted by the things that the enemy is orchestrating. Good morning, Lovelet. Night. I didn't see you. You cannot be distracted. So if people are upset with you because you don't want to play them games, you don't want to play them childish games, you don't want to conform to that childish behavior because you didn't outgrown that. You didn't moved on from that. Don't apologize, because those people have the same opportunity to do the same thing that you did. God bless you, Deborah Williams. God bless you. All right, y'all. God bless y'all. God keep you. We'll see you back here in the morning for morning worship and word. All right. Y'all know what I always say. I love y'all to life, and ain't nothing y'all can do about that at all. God bless you. Have a blessed rest of the day.
I got me some help in here today. Reverend F.C. Barnes. We're going to take you back old school. Oh, yeah. Now, the Bible says that God is a man that he cannot lie. Neither is he the son of man that he should repent.
I see you, Bishop Hooper. That's right.
And absolutely will not change. God,
that's right, Coach Edwards.
Is God, and he won't change.
Bishop Hooper.
I tell you that God is God, and he won't change.
If you didn't catch the broadcast live this morning, all you have to do is go to YouTube. You can look at the replay. All of you that are tuning into the replay, God bless you. Good morning. God bless you, Cousin Carla. Mama Georgia. Miss Laverne Carter. God bless you. Miss Kia Campbell. God bless you, from Texas.
Ramon, what you got to say about
you too, Coach Edwards. Miss Catherine, down at the lemonade stand. Y'all, if you're in Aiken, go down there.
And he won't change. Yes, sir. No. Whoa. I know God. I know he's God. He's God. And I know he won't change. Yeah, he can do again what he did before.
God bless you, Mr. Hawkins, Word Outreach Ministries, and Miss Peggy Holmes. Good morning. God bless y'all.
I know he won't
You too, Cousin Wanda.
Yeah.
I was looking for you yesterday.
He won't change.
Now, if you've ever been in trouble, if anybody's ever been in trouble, you can say, God is a lawyer and he won't change. Rev, you don't know nothing about that, do you?
I know about that. Yes, sir. I know about that.
I know that God is a lawyer.
I will. This Captain Campbell, I sure will. I pray that it be done in the name of Jesus.
Do again what he did before. He's the same yesterday and forevermore. God knows he won't. Can I get a witness?
You got one right here.
Now, Reverend Barnes, I know that a few years ago you got sick. Whatever happened about that?
God is a healer.
Yes, sir.
And he won't change. Yeah.
If you've ever been sick, you know what I'm talking about.
I know God. He's a healer. He healed my body. Oh, yeah.
Hallelujah.
I'm here to tell you. He can do what he did before. And he's the same yesterday and forevermore. I know he won't change. Woo! Can I get a witness? I'm a witness.
I don't know whether nobody else can relate to this,
Yeah.
but for me today, God is my provider, and he won't change. See, I don't have to worry about the economic situation.
I'm a witness to that.
As long as I know that God is my provider, and he won't change.
I got 80 years of that.
I'm about to tell you, he can do again what he did before.
Oh, yeah.
He's the same yesterday and forevermore. God knows he won't change. I wish I had at least one witness, somebody that knows.
I'm here with you. I'm still here.
See y'all in the morning. Have a blessed one.
Can you tell him
Love
again?
y'all to life.
He won't change. I know for myself. Can I get a witness?
Yeah, you got a witness here.
But you know the reason that I know that he won't change. I tried him for myself.
I tried him too.
And I don't need nobody else to tell me. I know for myself that he's bread when I'm hungry. He's water when I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Shelter in a time of
He's
a
a
storm.
friend.
Ooh, he won't change. Mother for the motherless. What is it for you, Reb?
A father for the fatherless.
What else is he to you?